I reverse engineered the supplements I would be most mad about if you took away from me, because they correct crucial deficiencies in our diet that most of you watching probably have. Today's supplement is creatine. Creatine has come a long way. I can remember vividly that when I was a collegiate athlete, our varsity nutritionist recommended that all strength power athletes, regardless of gender, so the girls teams too, take supplemental creatine. This was around 2004, and that was at the time, I wouldn't say controversial, but that was considered very forward thinking. And I can also remember I was fortunate enough to do well on standardized testing. And I remember this was very underground at the time, but there used to be college prep boards where people would offer advice, message boards. And I remember that coming up, and that was a controversial take too, was that you could take creatine to acutely improve cognitive performance on these tests. Again, well ahead of its time. The sort of tinkerers, those folks always are early to the party, and then science catches up. And we've known that in bodybuilding circles for a long time, but that happens in every domain, where if someone identifies something that can give you an advantage, it's going to be mined for effect. People are going to exploit that. Here we are, 20 years later, the science has certainly caught up. We can do some myth busting up front. Creatine is extraordinarily safe. It's made endogenously in your body by your cells, and obviously it's found in the flesh, the tissue of animals. Red meat is higher in it than poultry, for example, but fish, even milk, will contain trace amounts of creatine. So you're watching this, you have creatine in your body. You don't have to worry about it being artificial. We've dispelled the notion that it's kidney toxic. We've dispelled the notion that it was linked to hair loss. For the last 10 years, creatine has been unequivocally beneficial in the science and in the sort of pop culture mainstream understanding for people doing resistance exercise. That is a completely uncontroversial take that's been substantiated by hundreds, if not thousands of studies. What's happening now, and you've seen it with the massive groundswell of interest in creatine, is that we're finally embracing the fact that if it raises the bioenergetic status of your muscle cells, it does that for your other cells in the body. And we've had great meta-analyses or randomized controlled trials in human populations that have demonstrated this very effect. We have good data on major depressive disorders, creatine at minimum ameliorating those symptoms. One study, it outperformed Lexapro, for example, which is an SSRI. We have burgeoning data coming out in age-related cognitive decline in dementia populations, including an Alzheimer's clinical trial in the last year, which was groundbreaking and directionally correct. We would want to see that population take more. And we have new data showing that in order for creatine to really benefit brain function,